Hello, everybody. How are you? Chef Anita here. Just going live here in a couple minutes with Amazon Live. I haven't been on for a while. Missed you guys. If you guys have seen my lives before, I do TikTok and Amazon right here. As you can see, there's a whole nother setup right here with my friends over at Corto Olive Oil. I'm one of the brand chefs there. And so when I do my lives on Amazon, I love to be able to bring you guys along with me, like I said before. It has been a minute since I've actually gone live, solely because I've been traveling so much and working. So today is the first live with Amazon Live and Corto Olive Oil in about a month and a half. So I'm really super excited. Now, if you guys don't know anything about me, which most of you probably don't, go on ahead and look at my profile. You'll get to learn who I am. I am a traveling chef. I do a lot of private events. I owned my restaurant in Napa Valley until we closed. Now my family and I live in Nicaragua, and I travel from here to other parts to do private events, or here in Nicaragua as well. Today's recipe is going to be a ajote roasted balsamic glazed Parmesan recipe. Holidays are coming up, so I wanted to stick in the same kind of, theme as Thanksgiving and Christmas. So I don't want to repeat myself too much because my live starts in 3 minutes right here. So when you guys are hanging out here, you're going to see me talking over here. It's going to look really weird. You're going to be like, what is wrong with this woman? And I'm definitely not going to be able to answer any questions here unless I'm standing right here, which will also be difficult because my frame is here. And as much as I would love to have, like, what is that called? Spidey vision or something, like really serious eyesight. I cannot, unfortunately, read comments here. But thank you so much for the follows. I'm going to thank you guys ahead of time. Thank you so much for the follows and for joining me today. Hang around with me until the end. It's only going to be about a half-hour live, really quick. And if you miss it today, go on ahead and watch it on YouTube, okay? So again, in about 2 minutes, I will be going live here with Corto Olive Oil. Right now, I'm charring up some onions. The reason for these lives are because of the olive oil that I use, which I talk about all the time. I don't know about you guys, but I am obsessed with charred onions. So that's why we are making this today. And it's a really simple recipe, but it can also elevate your holidays. So, like I said, hang around. Okay. Minute and a half. Man, these last 3 minutes always take so long before I actually go live, and then I feel like I gotta fill up the time, and then you guys end up hearing the jargon all over again. So I'm gonna try and refrain from doing that. Thank you for the follows, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Thank you for joining. Going live with Amazon Live and Corto Olive Oil here very soon. Showing you guys an easy, elevated olive oil driven recipe. And if you guys like what you see in my profile, please, by all means, go on ahead, click like, comment, ask me questions, go on ahead and subscribe. And I'm here live once a month. And if not here, definitely on Instagram. I'm forever posting my food videos, my travel videos. So if you guys like what you see, please go on ahead and subscribe. Okay, going live here in 30 seconds with Amazon Live. Yay! Here we go. Let's hope this. Oh, here we go. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you may be in the world. Chef Anita here again, bringing you another Corto olive oil driven recipe for you guys, my home chefs, my home cooks at home. I have missed you guys. Now, if you guys saw my last video, my last live, you saw that I was actually coming to you from Italy, Modena, Italy. And yes, Corto olive oil traveled with me, and I made a beautiful salad with fresh ingredients from the market, this olive oil. It was absolutely sensational. So if you guys missed that live, go on ahead and check it out here on Amazon. I also posted on YouTube. Today, bringing you another recipe. I am back in Nicaragua. As you guys already know, I live in Nicaragua with my family. But like I've said, my friends over at Corto Olive Oil travel with me. They get their own suitcase if I have to bring the big boxes, and they go everywhere with me. This olive oil is absolutely amazing, so healthy for you, a brand that I stand behind and have for almost 5 years now. I believe it's been almost 5 years. Wow, where does the time go? Right now, for our recipe, because the holidays are coming up, guys, holidays are coming up. I'm so excited. I am going to be making, now I was going to try and make a completely different recipe, but again, living in Nicaragua, I am at the subject and the mercy of the market. And I only choose the freshest ingredients because I want to make sure and let this olive oil sing. So only fresh ingredients. So I went to the market and I got, oh, it's actually right here. I got squash. Now, this is not an acorn squash. It's not a spaghetti squash. This is what the Nika people here call ajote. It's sweeter, but savory. It's got the citrusy flavor. It's absolutely tender and gorgeous to roast. So I wanted to make this with, of course, starting off by roasting it in the oven at a 425-degree oven, with La Padella, the high heat saute oil, and simply, whoa, if I try not to knock everything down here, and simply roast it off until, let me show you, because it does take about 35 to 40 minutes. Look at that. Look at the sear on that squash. That's simply in the oven. That olive oil took care of the squash, absolutely beautiful, caramelizing it along the way. And at the same time, I roasted off some garlic so that I can then make my balsamic reduction, which I have in this cute little pan, with that roasted garlic. Now, making balsamic reduction can be a pain. If you let it go too long, it'll seize up on you. If it goes not enough, then it's really runny. It's tender loving care with the balsamic reduction. The pan makes a difference, absolutely. I like using something that's a little bit wider for the amount of balsamic that I'm using, so it reduces a lot quicker. Slower though, medium to low, and then absolutely pulling it before it gets to that thick consistency without it getting seized up on you. But what I do with this, if it does seize up on you, just use a little bit of water, so it'll make it right back to where you need it. In the meantime, I've also been caramelizing, or I should say charring up, because I love them charred, some beautiful sweet onion. It's a sweet white onion, and it's been going really nice, low and slow here for the last 20 minutes with, again, my friend, La Padella, if you see that. And then that's going to go over the top of this beautiful squash. Now, I wanted to show you how I cleaned the squash and show you pretty much the whole setup. So I wanted to do everything separately, so I had enough time to do that. Now, I have always said, oh, actually, I should show you. The balsamic, when you guys are reducing balsamic, please consider buying something that's a little bit higher grade because of the flavor. It won't get cloying or really sharp on you. It can get a really weird taste if you don't buy something that's a little bit higher quality. This I actually got in Modena, Italy. and I packaged it along with my olive oil and brought it back home. And I've been saving it here. I had 3 bottles. I told my husband he can use 1, and the other 2 were for this specific live. I needed 2 just in case 1 didn't work out. But it worked out beautifully. It's absolutely gorgeous. So again, using fresh ingredients, a high quality balsamic. I'm going to show you the consistency. See, it's still thick. See, you want to coat the whole spoon. See that? It's thick, but it has enough movement in it so that you can do whatever it is you want with that. Now, hope I'm not all over the place already, because I tend to have like one thought and then I go from one thought to the other thought to the other thought. So if you guys need more information on the last thought, please by all means comment. And while you're sitting here watching me, go on ahead and cursor below. Right here, Amazon will deliver any one of these olive oils for you in these beautiful protective boxes. Look at that. Easy pour spouts, beautifully packaged. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a sucker for packaging. Beautifully packaged into your doorstep. The olive oil, that's why we're here. Not the balsamic, not the squash. Just the power of the olive oil. This is why I come on here and talk about these recipes, and why I show here my home chefs new recipes that you can elevate and feed to your families. Now, like I said, Thanksgiving is coming up next week already. I mean, I can't believe it. It's blowing my mind. And when I thought about what I wanted to feature, I wanted something hearty and warm, but still light enough to accompany whatever else you might be having. And I thought this squash is the perfect way to go. Now, I know we have our sweet potato bakes and things like that, and definitely butternut squash plays a role sometimes. But when you use something like an acorn or a spaghetti squash or this ayote, it definitely feels like you're elevating. And again, when you use it with that olive oil, this olive oil, Porto olive oil, the citrus notes, the sweet notes, the savory notes, everything just completely come together. And then we're going to sprinkle, I have it here far, far, far away because my stove is really hot, some grated Parmesan. Unfortunately, this did not come from Italy with me. Not allowed to do that, so I couldn't do that. Gonna put it over the top, put it back into the oven, and go on ahead and melt that, and then plate it. And before it goes into the oven, I'm definitely gonna put some of that balsamic glaze over the top of the squash. And again, just let it get all melted and delicious. These onions are still gonna be cooking here, nice, low and slow. And then when we plate it, everything just kind of gets piled on top of one another, and it just becomes this ooey gooey, absolute gorgeous dish. But enough of the talking about that. Let's get to cooking. So like I said, my squash has already been cooked, so you don't have to sit here and painfully watch me do it. But this squash is so incredibly tender, you can literally take that, scoop it out, and eat it. It is so delicious. But the last time I actually used the squash, I went ahead and tenderized some meat with the Truly, which is this guy. I made a marinade. And then I went ahead and cooked the meat and put it into here. It was a tenderized meat, but I actually make a coconut curry with it. So I can't even explain it to you guys. It was so absolutely gorgeous. It's posted. So you guys, please look it up. This squash is absolutely gorgeous. This olive oil made my dish come to life because, as I have said so many times over, this olive oil does not get in the way of the flavors you are trying to accomplish. It enhances it. This is why I believe in it. This is why I used it in my restaurant and why I use it at home. Literally in Nicaragua with me. But you guys over there in the United States, you'll be able to get this a lot easier than I can. So if you want, please, cursor, order. It'll be at your doorstep before the holidays, and you'll be able to make all of these beautiful recipes with it. So here we go. The squash, I'm only going to show you with one because I already have plenty of squash here. and I don't like to waste. So as you can see, it has some seeds in the middle. And we all know how to scoop it out and stuff, but I am notorious for taking the spoon and it going boop, and then all the seeds land all over my walls. So I do something a little bit different. I take about a 1-inch round, like a medallion, if you will. I put it flat onto my countertop, and then using your spoon, you can go around it a lot easier. And that way, nothing flies anywhere. And like I said, this squash is so tender, and you can definitely still eat this. The seeds are really, really tender. You can still eat it. It's so tender, so beautiful, so delicious. And then, in that squash curry that I made, coconut curry, I actually used all the parts from inside of the squash and I put it into the curry. I mean, I'm telling you, it became my masterpiece. And I have this olive oil to thank for that. No lie, I know, I'm the brand chef. I know you guys are like, yeah, sure. But I am telling you, it's the truth. The people at Porto Olive Oil care about that beautiful fruit that they go through so much trouble to grow and harvest. Packaged immediately. It goes into that mill, first come, first serve, packaged into that box, sealed from sunlight, from heat. It actually makes me nervous whenever I have my olive oil so close to the stove, because if you guys don't know and you haven't heard me preach about it, keeping your olive oil next to the stove actually turns it bitter. I keep my olive oil way back there. You see that dark area back there? Well, it's darker when I turn this off. But that area back there, I am protected from the sun, I'm protected from the heat, and I'm protected from these actual overhead lights. But the box also does all the protecting for me. I just give it that little extra step because I respect this product so much. I want to make sure that it lasts for a long time. And I've been living here now for almost 8 months, and this olive oil has not lost anything. And it's traveled with me. Like, it's still gorgeous. So anyway, back to the squash. Scoop it out. As you can see, perfect round. And then I slice it straight down the middle. And then it goes into a bowl. Shh, not that loudly. Goes into a bowl. And I hit it with a little bit of that lappadella, high heat, high saute oil, and I give everybody a nice little toss. And then I go over the top with a little bit of salt, definitely a little bit of pepper, and then I lay it out onto my sheet tray while your oven is preheating at 425. And let me just make a quick note here. If you feel like your squash is really tender to the touch, you can actually roast it at 400. Just go a little bit lower and slower so it doesn't cave in on itself, and then you can't do anything with it. So keep that in mind. Tasting, seasoning from the bottom up, making sure and touching and just kind of really keeping an eye on things really makes a difference. Now, I know, guys, we're busy moms, busy dads, we have kids running around, you have work to do. Sometimes we just want to throw everything together and put it into the oven. But here's the great thing. This olive oil helps you do that. When you're prepping it, give it, a little squeeze. If it's a little tender, go 400. If it's nice and firm, 425. You can walk away from it for a half hour, give it a flip, go another 10 minutes, you're good to go. I'm telling you, I was literally getting ready while this was cooking. And like I said, it gave me the most beautiful caramelization. Absolutely love it. So anyway, that's how that looks. If you can see that, that's how that looks. I put it onto the sheet tray with a little bit of parchment into the oven until done. Now, we're going to go back into the oven here. Let me see, make sure that we're hot. Woo! We kicked it up a few notches here. So my onions are done, but I'm still going to leave them toward the back of my stove because they'll continue cooking. Oh, let me show you. I've been sitting here talking to you now for like, what, 10 minutes? And I managed to accomplish this. I mean, did you see me like really do anything astronomical? Like, I mean, I didn't really have to do anything. I put it on low and the olive oil took care of it for me. Now, I'm not saying walk away from your dish and assume that the olive oil will magically cook all your food. I'm just telling you that it gives you a little wiggle room in case you got to do something else for a few seconds. I literally talked here low heat and I accomplished that. Yeah. So now I'm going to move that to the back. I'm going to try really hard not to spill my cute little saute pan of balsamic because I worked hard on that. I love making balsamic reduction. It's such a challenge for me. I'm just like always like, okay, when? And then when you see it start to seize up, you turn up the heat, you leave it on there, and then it just becomes, again, magical. So now that I'm going back into the oven, and like I said, this is a little hot. Be careful. Check. Always use a towel. Just don't do what I do. Always. Just I can hold things that are hot. So there's the balsamic going in with my little pastry brush, basting brush, whatever you may have. And then I'm going to brush it lightly over that squash. Oh, and I forgot to mention, really important step. While I was cooking my onions, I went ahead and basted this squash in that onion lapidella oil. It's infused with onion flavor, so I would just grab it a little bit while I was checking it and just basted it a little bit with that lapidella and onion. Again, another way to elevate flavor and just really have fun with a really simple dish. And again, when your family tastes, they're going to be like, whoa, what did you do? And it's literally just a few little adjustments, and that's it. Okay. There we go. Again, trying really hard not to spill that beautiful work that I've already done. That's a little bit too hot still. Move the garlic out of the way because I'll be using that later. So there we have a little bit brushed, glazed squash. And that's actually, hello. Forgot the Parmesan cheese. So I go over the top with that. And you can definitely, depending on what you're cooking, you can definitely add a little bit of Italian spices to your balsamic reduction. You can put some fresh oregano, some thyme, a little rosemary, some sprigs in there while it's reducing, and then you get the herb flavor that again will pair so incredibly beautiful with this olive oil. But today I definitely just wanted it to be about the fresh ingredients and the flavor of this olive oil with that roasted garlic, with that beautiful caramelized onions. So hopefully this cheese will do the melting I need because again, here in Nicaragua, I'm at their mercy, and I have come across some Parmesans that just don't budge. Have you guys ever had that happen to you? You buy Parmesan and it's like, does this thing melt? So that's what we're praying happens here. And if not, we'll just, we'll pretend. You can just overlook it. And then when you're at home, please make sure and use a proper Parmesan cheese. So, oh, and I should mention as well, that in my onions, because I like it a little spicy, I added a little red chili flake. Do that to your flavor palette, to your family's tolerance level. We like it a little bit spicier here. And now this dish is something that you can actually make at home anytime. It doesn't have to be for the holidays. You can serve it with beef, you can serve it with chicken, you can serve it with fish. And it's so easy that you can actually make it, put it away, and then come back to it another day because it's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, I'm gonna look at this. I'm a little nervous. Oh, we're melting. Now, what I'm going to finish this with is a little toasted walnuts. Because again, it's the holidays. And for me, citrus flavor with really beautiful earthy flavors like walnut, a sweet squash, all comes together. It all comes together. That balsamic is also, it also has some citrus in it. And if you don't want to reduce balsamic, trust me, I get it. There are some balsamic reductions out there that are absolutely gorgeous. Just be careful with the flavored ones that you don't get something that will actually not pair well with the other flavors. Cooking, taste your olive oil. I'm always saying this. When you are about to go shopping, get a little teaspoon, taste the olive oil that you're using that day, and just have that be your guide as to the flavors. It's a very plain, even canvas, but when you put everything together, it all sings. I know I keep saying it. I'm sure you guys are sick of me saying it, but it's the truth. It really is. I would not be here with you if I didn't believe in it. I've done the legwork. I literally cook every style of cuisine with this olive oil, and it does the job. With the La Padella high heat saute oil, I can get the most beautiful caramelized salmon, meats, chicken, what have you. I mean, you saw my onions. And with this Corto Truly Extra Virgin, which has won every award, this guy, man, in marinades, in dressings, finishing oil, just boop, over the top, on a soup, any dish. I'm telling you, it does change the level of standards in your cooking, where you're kind of like, okay, now what do I want to cook? What do I want to try it with? And I'm telling you, if you don't believe me, check out my last videos, my Instagram at Anita Cooks One, even on TikTok, you know, the real Anita Cooks One. I'm on YouTube. You can see all of my recipes that I've been cooking with this olive oil. This olive oil. So anyway, now that we are almost done here, let me see, where am I at? Ooh, we're on time today. I love it. Now this dish, I typically caramelize a little pancetta in that La Padella, put it over the top, but because it is going to be a side for Thanksgiving, I wanted to just leave the actual squash with the balsamic, the olive oil, the nuts, the caramelized onions. Well, like I said, more like a charred onion, and they actually turn a little crispy around the edges. I mean, come on, tell me you don't love that. I love it. Okay. Oh yeah. And we're melted. Look at that. That took what? 4 minutes maybe? I never time things, unfortunately, so when people ask me for recipes, I'm just like, oh, goodness gracious. And I rarely measure anything. I just go by feel, by taste, and definitely the flavor of the olive oil versus like what am I cooking. Like tonight, we're making this squash with a little pepper steak. Some Italian flavors. I'm going to be using this squash as my side. It's going to be gorgeous. So I'm excited for dinner at home tonight. So now we're going to plate this. Oh, come on. This is beautiful. Wow. And here I was worried about it. No need to worry. There we go. Woo! That is screaming hot. Now, there is balsamic reduction over the top. And all the way around. Just like that. you guys that I love olive oil and balsamic together. I mean, you guys know how to dunk balsamic and olive oil together, right? Yeah, with some bread. Please try it with this olive oil and change your life. It's incredible. Okay, now I've got my beautiful onions, which I'm just gonna put right over the top. And you could definitely finish this with some parsley, some basil, any kind of herb you want. But today, like I said, I didn't want anything to get in the way of that flavor. So I just left everything as is. And there you have it. Is my lighting good here? I am obsessed. Oh God, wait. Excuse me. People, hello. I was like, why does this look so naked? Okay, a little. Oh my gosh, seriously? Guys, we had this conversation. Okay. You gotta have the star. Hello. Now we're done. What a difference that makes. Hello. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Really simple recipe. You guys have any questions at all, please send me questions. I read all the comments. Let me know what part you missed if you're coming in a little later. But like I said, I definitely post all these lives on my YouTube channel. So that's Chef Anita Cooks 1. And it's all Porto olive oil driven. Thank you so much for joining me today for another Porto olive oil Amazon live segment here on Amazon. I hope you guys enjoyed what you saw. I'll be back next month with another olive oil driven recipe. Let's see what I bring you guys. If you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. I'm gonna go eat this because I have not eaten today yet, so I'm super excited for it. And I can't wait to actually have it again tonight with dinner. So, anyway, thank you guys. Missed you, like I said. Have the best, happiest Thanksgiving with your families. I'll see you guys very soon. Or just have fun at home cooking with your olive oil. Doesn't have to be the holidays, guys. Every day can be a holiday when you cook Porto olive oil. Trust me. Okay, I'll see you guys very soon. Ciao, ciao. Okay, guys, there it was. I'm not lying. This is incredible. Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna go finish my lunch. Thank you all for those who followed, for those of you who hung around with me. I so appreciate it. So happy to be here and talk to you guys about a product that I believe in. Thank you all. I'll see you all very soon. I'm hoping to go live here more now that I'm back at home and a little bit more settled. So you'll be seeing me more often than not, okay? So thank you so much, and I will see you guys very soon. Thank you.